Hello, today for review I've got a really recently released, really fresh model. It is IT04 made by iBasso audio. It is 4-driver hybrid in-ear monitors. They're using single dynamic driver for lower frequencies and 3 balanced armatures for the mids and treble. Everyone who are familiar with portable audio probably aware of about iBasso audio. They're really successful models, the X200 and the X150, two really good dubs. The X150 is, as I've said in my review, and I still pretty sure it is probably the strongest competitor for this summer for the mid-tier dubs. And now iBasso trying to develop their success in the IEMs market. They released two really popular and two really good models: IT01 single dynamic driver with good cable, nice design and fun sound, and IT03 3-driver hybrid model offering their signature sound, neutral and pretty technical and resolving. With the IT04 they trying to increase their lineup, offering more high-end models. Their price is $500, but they've tried to do their best to provide the best value for this price. So as you can probably see, package is really stylish with nice polygraphy. On the back side, printed technical specifications: 10mm dynamic driver, frequency response from 5 Hz to 40 kHz, 110 dB sensitivity, 16 ohms of impedance, so they are pretty sensitive and low impedance. So with powerful sources they will be a bit noise peaking, but luckily I have i5 EMH, and I suggest it to all enthusiasts. Rated power 10 mW, low level of total harmonic distortion, and so on and so forth. So otherwise is nice specifications. Inside everything is packaged really stylish. So here is envelope with warranty card and manual, and separate tin can with IEMs and box with accessories. So first let's open this can. As you can see, IEMs are put nicely in this pod. You can pull them out. If you need this can for storage, you can just throw away this thing and use the can for storing for accessory set or IEMs in the assembled way. As for accessory set, iBasso done really great job here too. So this box is open two sides. Here are ear tips. So one set of tips, two sets of tips, 3, 4. You feel this feeling? 5 and 6. So 6 set of 3 pair of different tips. I won't open them all, and I won't demonstrate them because it's hard to open each of this package, but actually it is really 6 different set of different tips. So you will have really hard times rolling these tips and trying them all. That's I probably can promise you, but it is the biggest set of tips I've ever seen. And another great and pleasant surprise, it's cable. So if you are familiar with iBasso products, it is their cable CB13, good hybrid cable made of highest quality copper and silver plated copper. It is balanced, but you will get an adapter for the regular 3.5mm connections. So if I remember right, this cable by itself cost from iBasso $100, so having it with IEMs is really nice. But cable is really great, but I will describe it in the next part. iBasso made a huge step forward in the design and overall sense of luxury. If we remember IT03, they were pretty nice, but looked plainly simple with this black faceplates. And now let's just take a look how great IT04 looks now. So they have three-dimensional carbon faceplate with pretty unique black and blue carbon and this stylish in-tune signature. I'm not sure is it a model name or some kind of slogan. Inner part actually is pretty similar to the IT03. I'd say they are almost equal. So if IT03 were fitting bad to your ears, probably you should try this before buying. They have this unusual shape. They are made like some custom IEMs with this notch to fit under your concha. So if they fit into your ear, they fitting perfectly, and probably vast majority of people will fit them really nicely, but I've heard some complaints. For me, they have a really good fit, providing great wearing comfort. Sound isolation is a bit above average. So here is the spout. It has good length, it has good proper angle to fit into ears nicely. Unfortunately, they didn't make some notch on it to hold the tips better, but actually thanks to the length, tips are holding pretty normally. They have grill to protect it from dust fitting inside. Of course, they are designed to be worn over the ear, and you can actually wear them cable down, but it will be just not really comfortable. And in ear they will look like some expensive custom IEMs, I can say it. They are using replaceable cables with MM6 connectors. For the first test, they looks really good, really normal quality of grip, normal connection, disconnection. So I suppose they will serve long, and they probably won't loosen with time. So let me just clap second one. To be fair, cable is also great, nice stylish metal MM6 connectors, and cable is really soft. It's accurately braided. Actually, with IT01 iBasso proved that they can do great cables, but CB12 here is even better. So it's soft, nicely braided, it's good sonically. iBasso is selling it separately, so it's a really great option for other in-ear monitors and earphones. So here is a splitter, it's made of metal, and as well as chin slider to adjust the length, and here it goes braided way down to the jack. So braiding quality is really great. Of course, it's not getting hard when it's cold. There is no ear hooks, but it's so soft that they are not necessary. Fit is good, seal is good, and they are sitting good in the ears. And cable is also jack is also done in metal enclosure, and it's pretty nice. So it's really good cable as for the stock cable. I've got CB13, of course. I will definitely use it with these IEMs, but I didn't try it yet because they arrived really recently. But anyway, I don't think that you will really need to do some cable rolling here, maybe just out of curiosity, but anyway, lot of other more expensive cables looks and performs worse than iBasso's CB12. And of course, about the sound. IT03 is really good and really technical IEMs, but their sound sometimes too natural. With IT04, iBasso took small grain of fun and engagement and put it to their signature sound that they've tailored for the IT03. So they are some way close to the IT03, but offering a bit different tuning and It sounds more engaging, more lively, and I'd say probably more fun. So lows are really dynamic, not only because dynamic driver is used, but just dynamic in their nature. They go really deep and they have really good weight and a small accent on them. They have a bit more accented than in the IT03. It adds some really good weight to the lower frequencies and make them a bit funnier to listen to. Actually, they are still pretty fast, and they are still, but they sound more musical than the 03 version, and they are probably go a bit deeper, and but actually in this very deep bass, they have a bit they are a bit softened to not sound too aggressive in the lower register. So but it's just on the lowest bass. Other parts of the bass are fast, really good in terms of resolution, really good in terms of texturing, and really good in terms of perfectly balancing weight and punch. So pretty good lows, even for those who are bass feel or bass head. They are providing good quantity, but not more than necessary to be realistic. So it's not some bass heavy model with added lows sounding too bloated. Mids have nice resolution, not super resolving. They are not going into this natural monitoring. They are not going into this, super detailization. They are not trying to highlight all the tiny nuances, but a general level of detailization is still great for this and for this price, and great overall without considering the price. But now they have added some added weight on the mids, and it lets them to be better in portraying emotions, and they are better in terms of weight. They have nice amount of weight, nice amount of body, and it gives a sense of realism to the instruments and to the vocals. The voices sound really full and really represented in really exciting way. Another really strong feature of this IEMs, it is staging and portraying all this three-dimensional sounding. They are building really spacious soundstage, but very realistic, not trying to bloat it, not trying to make it bigger than it is in the recording. And depth is also really nice, with perfect separation of layers and depths, with really good sense of realism in this area. So really great model in terms of staging and spaciousness, and it gives really exciting wow effect. Treble is also improved part of this IEMs. Treble has better extensions than in the 03 version. It's really actually fast. It has great resolution, great layering. I like it in treble. I like layering, and it has really good level of layering sound, so they sounded really lush and really rich, giving this sense of realism and all the necessary overtones, all the necessary nuances, and so on and so forth. But they are very critical to the source, because they require good control of this part of spectrum, and they are critical to the quality of recordings, so everything should be recorded really properly. Otherwise they can sound a bit harsh on the poorly recorded tracks, but it's not an issue with IEMs, it is an issue with the tracks. So great, fun, engaging sound signature, not super resolving and monitoring and natural, but really live, realistic, and and with good resolution. I'm saying a few times not super resolving, but resolution is really nice. Just not this. They're not going to this, highlighting the resolution highlighting manner. They are really live, really engaging, natural, with great wow effect. So just few quick comparisons. First one is iBasso IT03. They are a bit more resolving on the mids, but they sound more natural and less emotional, less engaging, less probably with less wow factor, and have noticeably less extension on the both ends. It's just like if we compare iBasso DX150 and DX200, they are somewhat similar, but more expensive model offers more extension on the ends and the more engaging sound, and so on and so forth. So here is comparison with IT03. As for another models from another manufacturers, I can probably recall one single model in the similar price range. It is Dunus DK3001. They are also 4-driver hybrid with 3 balanced armatures and 1 dynamic driver, but they have a bit different tuning. On the lows, Dunu is a bit more neutral with less added weight, but a bit more resolving on the mids, while iBassos have more weight and probably sounds a bit more realistic sometimes. On the mids, Dunu is also more resolving, but iBasso are more engaging and more emotional and more weighty, more funny, and so on. And on the treble, iBasso have better extension and a bit better resolution, so they probably winners here. In the staging, probably iBasso are a bit wider, while Dunu is a bit better in layering and in portraying depths. So just a bit different signature. Probably Dunu are like some mix of iBasso 03 and 04 models, at least as it sounds for me. I will do more comparisons when I will do making a more detailed review. So to summarize everything, iBasso created really beautiful IEMs. I can't stop enjoying their faceplates with carbon. They are very comfortable if they fit into your ears nicely. They have great cable, they are built nicely, and they're offering a really fun, really engaging sound. It's not super monitoring, not for those who like to listen to the small nuances. It is for those who like to enjoy the music in the whole. So it is iBasso IT04, probably great addition to their lineup of IEMs and great pairing to their players, and actually not only their players but with any other. Thank you for attention.